Today in the Smuggler's Room, we're continuing with part 7 of our Star Wars room build. And we're going to pattern foam, cut foam, shape foam, and weather foam, as well as a little greebly foam. That's a lot of foam, and that's coming up. What's up, you awesome geeks? I'm Brian, and welcome to the Smuggler's Room. This week, this chubby geek is knocking off a part of the Smuggler's Room build that we had not really looked forward to, that was intimidated by, and all around tried to avoid, because I was pretty sure it would look like bantha crap when it was done. I'm talking about the crash couch. The smuggler's couch, the Falcon bench, whatever you want to call it, we're working on that. I think this part of the project was intimidating because of the patterns, and I wasn't sure what to make them out of and how to put it all together so that it didn't suck. Now, if you watched our last part 6 of the Star Wars room build, you saw that we used EVA foam, specifically the floor pad kind. We laminated a bunch of those together, we cut out the shapes, and we got those plasti dipped and ready. But it was only halfway to what we needed to do to have this ready for paint. Our bench is not a true replica. It doesn't match the Millennium Falcon's bench in any way, shape, or form, which means that we have to modify our patterns to make it work for the very small area that we have it in. So for this, I called upon my amazing wife, Carissa, and said something like, "Can you do this for me? I don't want to," which basically means, I'm bored, this is tedious, I don't want to do it. Love that woman. Here we go. Now, for the actual seat cushions, I did not go with typical EVA foam made from floor mats. I wanted a thick, high density, and quality foam for this, so I chose foam from TNT Cosplay. They have a wide range of foam, but specifically this extra thick 24mm foam that seemed perfect for what I wanted. You see, I wanted to maintain the same material between the back pads and the seat, so everything painted and weathered pretty much the same. But I also wanted something around an inch thick, and I certainly did not want to glue more pads together like we did in the last episode. The process for this is pretty much the same as well. We make a pattern, trace a pattern, and then cut it out with a sharp knife. this was far from perfect. I had pieces that I cut a little wonky, and during the install, I was off on several of them. Part of this was my fault, and the other part was just the nature of what I was doing with these big foam pieces in such a tight area. But all of this can be addressed. The fact that it's foam allows me to go back and trim all the pieces while they're in place. You'll see the result of that in a bit. Since we cut out all the foam by hand instead of using something like the laser, each piece is a little bit different. My skills at cutting foam and matching one pattern to the next perfectly is far from perfect. So each piece was a little unique when it came time to install. Part of me wanted to scrap the whole thing, start over and laser cut everything exactly. But as much as I love my laser cutter, the hand touch that this bench has is what makes it ours. In the end, there's nothing wrong with a little handmade look if you're happy with the outcome. Plus, we have many places, in the words of Adam Savage, to hide our crimes. Remember, you're a maker because you enjoy the art of making, right? I want to point out that when painting and weathering this bench, we worked in layers. I airbrushed some shadows, then went in with some burnt umber and Mars black washed way down with water, followed by some dry brushing. The overall goal is to keep adding layers and giving the object a use-worn look. When working on something this large, I like to use every tool I can to build those layers. And now we have a pretty decent base for the bench. It's far from finished and far from perfect, but I'm really happy to have this one part behind me. I'm sure for you, like there was for me, in every project there's that one little piece that's either super intimidating or whatever the case is that you avoid tackling that. And I say, just go for it. Let's see what happens and see what you can come up with. And now we get to move on to what I think is the fun part of this bench. We get to put all the details and panels and electronics and switches and greeblies and all of that right above the couch, and then the display case area that's going above that. And there's one particular section within that display case that I can't wait to show you. We have an amazing gift from our friend Trooper Trent from the RPF, and I'm so excited to build a home for this awesome prop display. Can't wait to show you, but you're gonna have to wait till the next time we build something out of nothing.